Hoka hey, Alita Army. Welcome to the Alita Livestream of July the 5th, 2024. Mars Chronicles, Volume 7 at the Ruins of Mamiana, where we discuss all things to do with the movie Alita Battle Angel, the source manga Gundam, and the greatly desired sequels. I am your host, the Muskogee Creek, and that's what I look like. So anyway, that's, of course, I think many of you knew that already. But anyway, we'll turn off the camera now and we will welcome to the stream here Smendrick. And he's from Deutschland. Grüß Gott, wie geht es dir heute, Smendrick?
Hello and grüß Gott and a very warm welcome to this show. I'm okay, thank you. Hope you are okay too.
You bet. And also, I think you're from Canada, aren't you? The Bad Man.
Yeah, I'm from Ontario, Canada.
Ontario, excellent. Yeah, we've got this time we've got us, I guess, an Alita expert on now. So now the Creek's got to be honest about all what he says, doesn't he? So how's it going, Bad Man? It's good to have you on, man.
It's okay, but it's getting a little warm now.
Yeah, it's a little warm here as well in Denver, Colorado. It's we've been getting wet. Well, weather's up. I guess the temperature is near like in the 90s a couple of days. Right now it's pretty mild. It's like 76, which is what, about 35 degrees Celsius, perhaps somewhere in there. That might be a little high, but somewhere 30 to 35 degrees Celsius, I think. So we're having pretty good weather here. We had a great 4th of July yesterday. I mean, if I could paint this picture, basically near my house, there's kind of like a hill overlooking Denver. And you could see probably nearly 100 miles off of this hill in all directions. Now, there was a little bit of cloud cover kind of in the distance, so we couldn't quite see that far yesterday. But we could see at least 50 miles yesterday in all directions, and well, at least in the one direction facing north. And the amount of fireworks that you saw for an hour and a half was just amazing. So that's what we had, and I hope all of us Americans, I guess everybody on the stream, I hope you had a great 4th of July as well. And of course, we hope everything is going well in Germany, certainly, or Deutschland, and Canada, and wherever you're living. So any thoughts about that, you two gentlemen?
Yeah, if I look out of the window of my windows, I only can see the city park here, but it's very nice. It's green, and due to the rain, the heavy rain we had the last days, it's very fresh, but it's okay. It's not too cold. It's not really summer, but it's okay. It's someone called it a little autumn.
Yeah, es ist gut, wenn das Wetter schön ist, nicht wahr?
Ja, schön ausgesprochen. Du kannst doch gut Deutsch.
Dankeschön, Dankeschön. Mein Deutsch ist schlecht, aber was ist spricht nicht so gut, or ich spreche sehr gut. So anyway, what I told Smendrick, just so I'm not leaving you guys out, is that it's kind of neat when the weather is good, and that's basically all I said. And he I guess complimented me on my German, which is much appreciated, although I think very overstated. So anyway, and I guess they're in Ontario, I guess, Bad Man. How's it going there, man?
Well, aside from the weather, it's not too bad.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Nice. Well, we're glad you joined us, because I know I've seen you in the chat many times, and Vladi, if you want to come on, you can do it, or anybody else, if you want to come on.
Yeah, Vladi, come on.
Yeah, somebody,
don't hesitate.
Yeah, there it is. There's let me put the again here just in case people got by some folks. So Lottie said,
Lights up your mute.
yeah, he says it's
Mood.
there. So anyway, near zero, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, well, before we get to our manga, I guess let's put out a couple of things there. We, the Alita Army, do have Rosa's Queen Studios bust. It's sitting in my house right now, and it's in the box. It has not been opened, and I will not open it until we get word that maybe we get a setup where Rosa would actually accept it, and that probably is not going to happen until some special event occurs. You know, whether it's an Alita sequel or uh, maybe it's a series, you know, on Disney Plus or something like that. Even if it's animated, but it had to be an event like that, I think. So. And Vladi, no, it's not just creaky tonight, as you can see. I got two very able individuals here with me on the stream. I'm just reading some of the past chats here. Well, we don't have a big audience right now, but we got a few folks out there. But anyway, we really want to give this to Rosa. And we're not giving it to her as a gift. This is the Alita Army presenting, our expression, I guess you could call it, of our admiration and appreciation for Rosa. We really love Rosa a lot. She's great. You know, she did a super duper job on Alita, and we want to present this to her like, say, you would win the Academy Award. You know, if you were going to get that. So, we really do appreciate Rosa a lot. She's super duper. You know. And I certainly hope Captain America 4 does well, you know, because she's in it. She's playing a villain. Now, I don't know anything about, you know, the storyline or anything like that, but I do know she's playing a character. I believe the character's name is Diamondback, and she's going to be in that movie. And I just really, for her sake, I hope it's really works out, you know, and is successful. Although I don't have a lot of faith in Disney these days, but we won't go there at this point. You know, we might talk about it a little later, you know, after we get through the manga. But, you know, anyway, it is what it is. Also, you know, we got the Alita sequel petition, and I think we've added like 6 or 8 from last week. I can't remember what the number was. Like I never remember what the number was. But anyway, it keeps trudging along week after week. We keep adding a few signatures every week, and that's quite a good number of signatures right there. You know, that's we're approaching 180,000 signatures. And we want to get to 200,000 for sure. Vladi says there's so much more than an MCU character. Yeah, for he's talking about Rosa there. She's a star of Alita Battle Angel, the best franchise in Hollywood and Disney's betrayed it and all that. I agree with you, Vladi. But for our queen's sake is all I'm saying. And I'm going to go watch Captain America 4, not because I'm a super duper big MCU fan, and well, I do like MCU movies, a lot of them, but not for that reason. I'm only doing it because Rose is in it. And I just do what little part I can to make that a successful movie. So anyway, but that's what that is, I guess. So anyway, we want to keep Disney aware that we want that sequel. We want the sequels, plural, because if you remember last year, Jim Cameron said he was working on Alita 2 and 3. So I know in IMDb, if you go look up IMDb and you look up Jim Cameron, it doesn't have it listed as under development, but he said he's working on it, and I believe him. So that's that. And we got the Hero Arm campaign now. It's technically still active, but I called Open Bionics Tilly Lockie's mother today, and I guess I wasn't able to call her until a little later in the day, and the UK is like 7 hours ahead of the US, so she wasn't at her business phone, I guess. But I did promise her. I left a message, and I promised her if she didn't call me back today, I was going to call her on Monday morning early. So we're setting up, to try to get the money transferred over to Open Bionics. And, basically we got like $5,244.89 in our bank account for the Alita Army. And we want to give every penny of that to Open Bionics to help give some deserving individual, to give them a hero arm, because, some folks, circumstances sometimes go against folks, and the less fortunate than us, we want to help them out where we can. We want to be good to folks in the Alita Army. Also, we got the Alita Army Gaming Network, and that link you see on the screen there, that is also down in the description. So if you click on that, it'll take you over to Discord. If you don't have a Discord user ID already, you can join. It doesn't cost anything, and we do make sure that we don't get any trolls or anything like this on the gaming network. We want this to be a fun thing, a hangout. I know I post stuff on there almost every day, if not every day, and I know Chaos Nova does. Angelus has, which, by the way, Angelus is not here. He's still, I guess you could say, he's on walkabout here in the U.S. He did go to Niagara Falls, though, so he was. I think he was even over on the Canadian side for a while, but and he went to New York City and all that. But I don't know where he is now. Who knows where that rascal is. So anyway, and I would just like to say too that we had a really good time last week. When we were in Austin, Texas. We didn't get on Troublemaker Studios, but that's okay. We had a really fun time in Austin. We did some really cool stuff. We went to Bikini Falls, and we went to the rock overhanging, where Alita, Hugo, Tanji, and Koyomi were kind of walking toward the ship. Now, we didn't get to that spot where the ship was, but I promise the creek is going to go back there. And when I do go back there, I'm going to rent a car, because it was kind of difficult for us to get around there without a car, because we had to be dropped off at the gate and walk all the way down to where that overhanging rock was, where it had been so much better to have a car and park near there, and then you could just walk there easily, But the creek is going to do that. But anyway, I got off topic. If you want to join the gaming network, there's the link. Just click on it and join Discord. There's a lot of cool folks on there. We hang out. We can send text messages. You can even talk to folks on there, because there's voice channels on there and stuff like that. I know Matu is not able to be with us today, but she's helping me manage the gaming network, because she knows a lot more about Discord than I do. And I know enough to get myself in trouble in terms of being like a system administrator, if you want to think that. But I guess Matu knows a lot more about it. So anyway, there it is, the Alita Gaming Network. Another thing that I am really kind of proud of is that we are rapidly approaching 160,000.
Congratulations!
We appreciate it. Now, we're not quite there yet, but yeah, we're rapidly approaching 160,000 subs. So we'll probably get there maybe early next week, sometime. You never can tell. Predictions can be kind of rough, in that regard. But we're getting there now. The main reason I'm doing this, because I don't make any money off of this, really. I mean, it's this is a labor of love for me. I really love the character Alita. I love the movie. And of course, if anybody has looked at my YouTube channel, you'll see that I guess I wouldn't call it a mission statement, but the kind of the description of the channel itself, I just have one sentence: I support Alita and Rosa Salazar positively and passionately. So that's that, and that's what I'm doing here. I'm strictly doing this to help our girl, you know, get some recognition, and hopefully Disney will see this and see that, wow, maybe there is a demand for Alita, you know, which there is, because we want it, you know. Uh-oh. All right, Vladi, let's see. He's pissed off again, and enjoyed the manga. But even Creaky has given up on Disney. No, I haven't. I have not given up on Disney, actually. I mean, Vladi, to your point, though, I am kind of down on them a little bit, because, you know, I just think they've got problems, that they're not managing things the way they should, in my opinion. I'm not somebody that can speak from authority when it comes to managing a movie studio, for sure. You know, I'm not that, you know. But no, Vladi, I have not given up. As a matter of fact, I want to see Disney succeed. I want to see them really start knocking it out of the park. But, you know, he does have a point. I'm not 100% hopeful. I guess I'll leave it at that, you know. But you know, hopefully that we'll get past this, you know, and we will get our sequel eventually. I am hopeful of that. I'm pretty confident we will eventually get a sequel. And Vladi, I think if you remember one of my response in the DMs, I have two responses when people say we're not ever getting a sequel, you know, because it's a lost cause. Well, one of my responses is from the Pirates of the Caribbean. No cause is truly lost as long as there is but one fool to fight for it. And that was a line that Will Turner used, you know, in kind of rescuing his father from Davy Jones. And that was in Pirates of the Caribbean 3, I think it was. But last, and probably the better one, particularly with AI coming along like it is if you guys saw Avengers, The Age of Ultron, well, there's a very end, Thanos grabs the Infinity Gauntlet and he says, fine, I'll do it myself. So if I don't get that, see if Disney is going to be slow in giving us a sequel, I'm going to start putting out videos that are going to be more active, you know, because AI is really coming along a lot. I mean, they've come along with some pretty good, you know, I guess software or applications that can remove backgrounds, and you can insert characters and other kind of movies or sets or whatever. So, yeah, Vladi. I actually, Vladi, I like Pirates of the Caribbean. I think it was a good franchise, you know, but based on a theme park ride. Yeah, he's right about that. It is, you know. So yeah, okay, Vladi. He says, "Come on, Creaky, stop doing that. Enough. He's been tortured." Vladi says he's been tortured enough by Disney. So I'll relent there, Vladi. By the way, Vladi, you can come on and give me what for if you want to. You know you got the link, so you can do that. You know,
Please
I'm okay
come
with that.
to us.
Yeah,
Vladi.
come on, Vladi, come on here. Man.
And
You can do that.
Oddjohn is in the chat. Come on.
Oddjohn, yeah, let me put that back in there in case Vladi or Oddjohn or anybody else, not limited to them, anybody that wants to come on the chat, you know, there's the link. All you gotta do is click on it. I'll bring you in, you know. Okay, I guess that is that, as they would say. And you guys,
Creaky, may I interrupt you for
absolutely.
some off topic? Did you send the invitation to Karen for our gaming server?
Karen, no, I have not.
Look at your direct messages from me.
Okay.
He asked me to send you a new link to our gaming server, because he kicked himself out.
Oh, okay. He did that by accident.
Yeah. That's so please send him a new invitation. Thank you.
Yes, I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking at the game. I don't see.
Look at my direct messages to you.
Okay.
There was some days ago.
Okay. All right. Let's see. I don't want to spend too much time
Yeah. Don't worry. Don't worry.
right here. So let me. Yeah, I can't find it. Well, let me pull it. There you are, King Haggard. So please. There we go. Yeah. All right. There it is. Yeah.
Floody has a question. Can you answer it again?
Yeah. Let me get back over here. Unfortunately, I've only got one. I've been threatening to put a second monitor on here, but
I have 4 monitors here.
yeah.
Still not enough.
No, you can't do that, Bloody. Of posting a server invite, they automatically expire after 7 days. I know it's kind of screwy, you know. Yeah, you're right, Bloody. Everybody needs a second monitor, except the Creek is slow. He doesn't have one. I do have a second monitor, but it's not hooked up, you know. So anyway, that is what it is, Bloody. That's the way Discord is set up. The link only lasts for 7 days. That's why I put it in every week, you know, because there's no permanent link that you can use. And I think they do that for information security or cybersecurity reasons, you know. That's probably what they're doing there. But I do promise that I will continue to put a link in every week, you know, that way it'll be somewhat permanent. The invitation to join the gaming server will be permanent because I'll keep putting a new link in every time. So anyway,
the thing is, add a new link every week with the date or the date of expiration. Okay. So users who rewatch the stream or watch it very late, they see, okay, it's expired, so I have to watch the news or later streams.
Well, let me answer Vladdy's question here. Vladdy, it's down in the description. Just right below the screen here that you're looking at. If you go down and look in the description of the stream for the video, the link is there. All you got to do is click on it, and it'll take you to Discord. It'll take you to the invite link. And if you don't have a user ID, then they will say, "Do you want to join Discord?" And of course, you want to say yes. You know, I don't know the exact how that works, but you know, if you don't have a user ID, they will offer you one, and you can join, and it's free. So there's no reason not to have one. You know. Okay, guys. Anything else? Bad Man, you got anything to add to this melee?
Well, I think with Discord, once the server gets large enough, then they will offer an option to make a permanent link. But
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But smaller servers aren't discoverable and only have the 7-day links.
Plus, there's a time frame from when you start. I don't know how many months it is. It might be 3 months or something like that too. But you got to meet both of those requirements. You know, the membership on the server, and it's got to be. It can't be a brand new server. You know, it's got to been there for a while. And I don't know exactly how long it is. So, anyway. So Vladdy says yes, he has seen it, and there it is. But Vladdy, I think you're already a member, Vladdy. So I don't know, you know.
Yeah, but it's for new members here.
Yeah, that's right.
If we have, or if we know some guys, maybe friends and family in real life, then it would be nice to have always a current link.
Yeah, it would be. I agree. It would be, you know, so, but we'll get there eventually. We'll get enough folks on there and be around, have the server active for so long that, for long enough to where we can put a permanent link on it, you know, so, okay. Anything else, you guys, before we get to the well, what's Vladi saying now? He's Vladi, you're on a roll. See, I said when I want to invite someone new, I can click on the latest stream link and use the link in the description. Yep, you can do that. Like I might stream a game on it and drop a link on Twitter. Yeah, you can do that. Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, anybody can upload contents or links and stuff like that. You can do it. You know, I mean, it's not set up, you know, to, I mean, it's not, we don't have the server set up to deny that to anybody, you know. Now, what will happen if somebody puts some porn on there or something like that, you know, either Matu or I are going to delete that quickly, and then we will expel the person that did it. So, because we don't want that kind of stuff. And the same is true of politics. Now, I probably wouldn't expel somebody on their first thing, but I would say, hey, man, don't put that politics on here. We don't want it, you know. And I don't care what your politics are. I mean, whether you like this, if you have my political views or something I don't like on politics, that doesn't matter. I don't want it on there. I want that to be strictly about Alita. Now, I will say this:
friendly, very friendly community. So it's much easier for us to stay friendly if we don't have any political, religious, or whatever discussions.
Yeah. Now, I tell you, there would be a little bit of an exception to that if it's related to Alita, and you wanted to post something about Disney or something like that, then I'm okay with that.
Company or management politics are something different.
Yeah, that's right. I don't care about that. As long as you don't threaten people, you know, I'm okay with it. But when anything about Democrats or Republicans or conservatives or labor or, you know, progressives or liberals or whatever, you know, in whatever country it is, we don't want that stuff on our server. You know, we want it to be friendly and positive, and that people will enjoy being on it, you know, and kind of hanging out and stuff like that. You know, because one of the things about X is man, there are trolls on there, and I know I get several of these tweets, you know, from folks that don't see eye to eye like me, you know, and I have no problem with them being able to do it, but that's X. We don't want that on our server. You know, we don't want that at all. So anyway, I think I've rambled on long enough about that. What do you guys think?
Yeah, and as Floody says, Discord makes it very easy to stream gaming.
Yeah, that's
easier than Twitch. Yeah, I once had a watch session with Floody playing. I think it was. I forget the game's name. I'm old, but it has a very high quality.
Was it that one?
Fallout. Yeah, thanks, Floody. Oh man, I already remembered the letter F. It has a very high quality. And a very good mix-up between the gaming sound and your voices.
Yeah, I watched Angelus one time play Cyberpunk 2077. That was enjoyable, and that was back when it had bugs in it. You know, it's kind of interesting to see these bugs pop up when he was playing it. You know, but now I think it's a lot more stable. You know, I think, but. And I know Chaos uploads, Chaos Nova, he uploads some Martian memory games, you know, and they're really enjoyable, particularly when he's now playing the English version. So we, you know, at least the Creek can understand. Now, if it was in German, Smendrick, I could understand most of it probably, you know, but it wasn't in Japanese.
No. Most of these games are either in an Asian language or in English.
Yeah, that's right.
But it's okay. Yeah, for most people, it's okay. We don't get subtitling or something like that. in most of them.
Try hard. Yeah, Vladi, by all means, if you want to do that on our server, by all means, to go for it, man. As a matter of fact, I'll sign in and watch because I really enjoyed watching watching Angelus play at that one time. That was really
I would
fun,
like to see this, Vladi.
Yeah, you betcha. Okay, I guess I've rambled on long enough about this. So anyway, now we want to go into the manga. Now, basically, if you look at the Mars Chronicles, for the most part, it is somewhat chronological, but not completely. Because if you remember last week, or not last week, last month when we did Volume 7, Alita, or Yoko, was a little girl, and so was Erica. But here it kind of jumps ahead in Volume 7 to after the Zot, and then of course, I think the next Volume 8 after that is also after the Zot. Well, I don't want to do any spoilers here, but yeah, that's it kind of does that a lot, although overall it generally follows a chronological sequence, but not completely, So if you watch this, if you're looking at the stream as we get into it, and you say, whoa, how did Alita get to be a woman so fast? Because last month she was a little girl, a toddler, basically, and now she's a woman, so, and that's the reason why, because I think that's what it is, chronicles, it's just, stories for the most part. And certainly, Badman, I'm relying on you too for some expertise in this area, because I've really enjoyed in the past your commentary, from the chat. So feel free to speak up, when we do this. Okay, so by the way, when I switch over here to I have to switch to the manga. When I do that, if somebody wants to come on, just alert me. You can interrupt me, either Smendrick or Batman, or Badman, not Batman. You're not Batman, you're Badman. But anyway, if somebody wants to click on the link, come on, just tell me about it, and I'll jump back over here and admit them and welcome them and stuff like that.
Yeah, as long as you do it, or you can zoom in panels we discuss, I will be able to watch it on one of my 4 19-inch screens here, monitors here. Yeah, I know Vladi told me to buy some larger
monitors. Yes.
But if you zoom in, it might help me.
Yeah. Okay, so what we have here is in this particular one, I remember I told you this jumps forward quite a bit to after the Zot, and this is in ES 594. So, it's quite a ways in the future compared to what we went over last week. And if you remember last week, I think that's when Ninon was killed. She was basically she thought she was the Queen of Mars or something like that, like a little girl might think. And then, of course, those soldiers killed her, so which was kind of sad, really. Kishiro is wonderful at doing this, at writing. When we first met Ninon, a few volumes back, I thought of her as, well, she's just a little twerp, she's a bully and she's this, that, and the other. But then at the end of the last volume, I really felt sorry for her. Kishiro's super at doing that, getting you so engaged in the character, and then you see how the character evolves, and then you feel sorry in this case for Ninon for being killed, But anyway, this is in case you don't know, ES means Aero Sputnik. In other words, ES 594. If you add that number to 1957, that'll tell you roughly what the Gregorian calendar is, and I can't do that right off the top of my head. I guess it's let me do that quickly just so we have an idea of when that is. And just bear with me here. I probably should have done this to begin with. 57 plus. So in a very real way of the Gregorian calendar, it would be the year 2551. Now, if you're trying to link this to the movie, which is really fraught with some difficulties here, but generally speaking, the movie Alita Battle Angel was probably 100 years off about. So it'd be, I guess, if you were to kind of teleport this stuff to the Mars Chronicles to the Alita universe, Alita, the ACU, as I like to call it, it would be the year, well, it says 20, it'd be 2651, which I don't think is quite right, because I think the movie, what was the movie setting begin with 2563, so it had to be further than more than 100 years, I guess. But this is after the Zot. And Alita was, she was probably in her, mid 30s, I guess, early to mid 30s after the Zot, and this is, so it'd be probably closer, if you try to get a date on it, it would probably be closer to, say, the year 2590, somewhere in there, plus or minus 5 or 10 years. So it's quite a bit of ways, the Zot is quite a bit of ways in the future from, well, not that far, maybe 20 years in the future from the movie Alita Battle Angel, if you looked at it relative to that universe. And I'm running my mouth, so I'm going to go ahead and go to the first panel. So anyway, what we have here is Alita here is, and she is truly Alita here. She's not Yoko,
Yep.
She is Alita. This is her. This is our girl right here, And of course, looking at her, you would say, wow, she doesn't look 35. Well, remember, she's a cyborg, so they don't age quite the way we do as humans, Well, she is human, but even though in this particular case, I guess she's got a brain chip, I guess. But anyway, she's standing here and she says, I'm back. Now, what you see on her right shoulder there is a sentient gun named Danko. Okay, in other words, this gun is a living thing, if you want to think of it as that, or at the very least, it's going to be artificial intelligence that is sentient, so it's going to be something like this. But she says, I'm back. And now what she's doing is she's actually standing in front of this memorial or this monument to all of the people that were in Mamiana that got killed by those soldiers. You remember from the last, I guess the last month when we did this, the previous volume, everybody, not just the little girls, a lot of people were killed. The soldiers came in there and killed them, But anyway, you see there on the right, Danko, that gun, he says there's someone behind the monument, Alita. So you see, he does call her Alita. So she's Alita here. And, Alita kind of answers him by saying, I know, and then she says, now Alita's standing on the other side of the monument, you see here. And Alita says, come on out, Erica. Now, so she knows she's there, Yeah. So anyway, Erica, kind of steps out from behind the monument, and she says, 208 years, and we finally meet here again, Yoko. So in other words, here, I guess, Erica hasn't seen Alita for over 200 years. And when the last time she saw her, she was Yoko. She was the little girl, that was, I guess, there with her when then
Hello? Quickie? Your audio is lost.
Thing like that, somewhere in that area, But in the manga, it's 200 years, 200. In this case, the difference in time is 208 years. So now Erica is standing in front of Alita, and it's the first time they've seen each other in over 200 years. And by the way, either Badman or Smendrick, if you want to comment. Don't wait for me to recognize you. Just jump in. You can interrupt me mid-sentence. It won't bother me one little bit, you know.
Okay, I'd just say that it was 208 years since Yoko left Mars.
Yeah.
So she was 16 and went off to the terraforming wars.
That's right. Yeah. And I think, well, Alita, I guess, now, you know, there's kind of a fuzzy area in here, but I think Alita did as well, didn't she? I mean, she fought she was a mercenary.
Alita is Yoko.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, she was in the Mauser school, and she was in the manga. She's a mercenary, you know, more or less. Whereas in the movie, she's in the military, so it's a little bit different, I think. I mean, it's still a military type setup, but but I think she fought in the terraforming wars as well, didn't she, Badman? If I remember correctly, I think they both did.
Well, I'm not sure what Erica was doing at the time, but
yeah.
But 208 years ago, that was when Alita went off to Catheris or Jeru.
Yeah. Well, the reason why I say that Erica fought in the terraforming wars is because, now I'm not going to do any spoilers here, but in the next volume, Alita tells Erica something that surprises the hell out of her, you know, and it's kind of a revealing type thing, you know, about Erica's past, you know, but I'm not going to spoil it at this point, you know. But anyway, what happens is that Erica, now they're both standing there at that monument, and Erica says, so you hadn't forgotten about Ninon and the other girls after all, you know. And Alita, you know, kind of, you know, just has I guess almost like a so what reaction, you know. And then she says, Mamiana's changed since then, you know. And then, of course, Alita then says, it's not on the maps anymore, so it was hard to track down. Okay, so there you see them. They're both standing there at the monument. And you could see like a little plate on that monument. Basically, what that has is the names of all the people that were killed, you know, when those soldiers came there to, you know, kind of, it was a false flag event, basically. And they killed all those civilians that were there. And basically, you know, I can't tell if it was Erica or Alita that said this, but it's been 200 years. Nobody even remembers that there used to be a town here anymore. So, in other words, this is a ruin. You know, this is almost like a ghost town, if you want to think of it. You see vehicles scattered around there, and you still see some roads going on there for sure, you know, but there's nobody living there. You know, I mean, it's just it was completely wiped out by those soldiers. And, you know, Erica, you know, standing in front of this monument, she says, and now it's just you and me. Nobody else knows there was ever a Ninon here, or a Morla, or a Gemma. And she says, and she doesn't finish the sentence, you know, at that point. Alita kind of looks down at the plaque, I guess, where the names of those folks are. And Erica says, as a matter of fact, I was the one who had this monument built. And then to ensure that you would find it Yoko. Okay, so in other words, she's still referring to her in the name that she remembered the two of them were as children. Now, here's the thing you want to remember here about this too, is that these two, when they were kids, at least before this particular part of the story, they were really close. They were almost like sisters. They weren't really sisters, but they kind of watched out for each other and stuff like that, you know, particularly Erica, because she was the oldest of the two. And they were like sisters, you know, very much so. Erica was mostly a human. I think she had some bionics, you know, or some cybernetics. But Alita was a total replacement cyborg even then, even as a little girl, you know. But anyway, and we get a little bit of a figure here, or kind of a reference to the time frame we're dealing with. And Erica says it's been 3 years since the Zot. And of course, the Zot, as you see down there in the footnote, Zenith of Things tournament. And that's in the last order. Okay. Where have you been all this time? And of course, Alita says, I was away on Venus for work. I can't say any more than that. So this kind of plays into the thing. You remember, we don't know what happened on Venus, you know, that kind of thing. And of course, we do know how long it was now. We know it was 3 years. I don't think that's the Imaginos body that Alita's in. It's in a different body. It might even be a Berserker body. I'm not sure. But I don't think that's an Imaginos body. But Alita is still very much an android here. She's not a cyborg anymore, you know. So anyway, Danko, the sentient gun, he says, Alita, why does this woman call you Yoko? And then, of course, Alita says, Yoko was my name as a child. And of course, Danko says, oh, I see. Your full name is Alita Yoko. Or I guess that was, that was Danko. And then Alita says, I've saved it to memory, you know, something. So I guess there's a little bit of a system-oriented thing going there, you know, that maybe Danko has some kind of, memory device, or, you know, hard drive or solid state drive or whatever. And he gathers information, you know. And you see a little bit of a footnote there, you know. In other words, when Danko said, I see, so your full name is Alita Yoko, Alita has this kind of a feeling about that. She says, not true, but I'm not in the mood to correct you. In other words, Alita is not Alita Yoko. She's just Alita. That's her new name. And then, of course, Erica, you know, kind of butts in. She says, what is that? A new pet? So, you know, and that, in other words, calling Danko her pet, you know. And of course, this kind of pisses off Danko a little bit. But Alita says, this is Danko, a Berserker gun. He's basically a mutation of Berserker cells. I wound up getting stuck with this thing on Venus. So this is one of the things that had happened to Alita when she was on Venus. She not only lost the Imaginos body, but she got this Berserker gun, put on her shoulder or something like that. Now, we don't know why Venus put that gun on her shoulder or even took her Imaginos body. We don't know that. That's that part of that time frame that is just a mystery at this point. But anyway, as I said, Danko's kind of pissed off, you know, and he says, speaking to Eric, he said, did you just call me a pet? You want to eat bullets, bitch? So he's pissed, you know. And I guess Erica says, oh, I thought Venus had specialized in genetic engineering, but I guess after the dissolution of Ladder, which I guess that's a council, you know, that was kind of a governing, you know, type council in the solar system. But after that dissolution, they resumed nano machine research, huh? And of course, really, Alita doesn't ask Erica about that or respond to it. But what she does say is, and you, Erica, are you between side jobs, you know? And Erica says, side jobs. And then Alita looks at Erica and says, that terrorist group, the Neo Third Reich Brigade. In other words, it's kind of like a Nazi brigade, I guess. And Erica says, oh, yes, that. You know, so she is acknowledging that she was in that group, you know, that was that. Now, I don't know if that was part of the terraforming wars or not. You know, it might have just been another group that maybe she took up with after the terraforming wars. Now, what's important is what we're going to learn in the next volume that I'm not going to bring up here. We're going to really find out, you know, what has happened between Alita and Erica in this time period, you know. So, but we'll address that, you know, in the next volume itself.
Yeah. Think it's necessary.
Yeah. We say something. Yeah, go ahead, Batman.
Okay, the Neo Third Reich Brigade was was the group that Zazie encountered.
Yeah.
That was about a month before the Zot.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think Erica did that. What is that? What is that thing that she did to Zazie, that she had planted some kind of vibration in her mind, in her brain, that was going to, like blow up in a month, or something, blow her head up in a month or something, or blow up something in her body in a month. And Alita kind of reversed that with a kind of a reverse frequency or vibration or something that she had, but that's basically all I know about that. And that's when I guess Zazie found out, or Zazie actually met Erica too at that point. So, were you going to say something, bad man?
Oh, that's when Erica used the Verschlag, or the Salton wave attack.
Yeah. So anyway, those two are sitting there and they're having somewhat of a civil conversation at this point, although there you could see there's a little tension between the two of them at this point in their meeting, but basically, I guess this is referring to that some part of that period. And, remember, I guess Erica had said, in other words, I think this ship is part of that whole brigade that had some of this military equipment. Says, gosh, it's been so long, But anyway, then we cut to this captain of this gun troll, this ship said, I'm glad to see you're looking well, and now we see Karula Sangus. Now, for those of you who don't know who Karula Sangus is, which I bet 90% of the people on this stream do know who she is, she's a vampire, and of course, Karula says to this technician, I guess is who it is, or it could be like a nurse or something like that. She says, yeah, and the same to you, in other words, it's good to see that you're in good shape. And Karula Sangus, kind of returns the pleasantry, And Karula Sangus says, how are the children? So I guess they have children, basically in their custody or something like that. But the technician says, good, there's nothing quite like taking care of them under a proper sky. So in other words, I don't think they're on Mars at this point. I don't know if they're on Earth or not, but, they're not on Mars, because if you remember, Mars had a dome over it. I'm currently struggling with the biggest of my kindergartners. So, and of course, then under that, we see on that next panel is Zex, or AR6, the biggest, you say? That's what Karula says, The one with Alita, Zex, I believe his name was. He came, and then, of course, the technician says he came to us because he was searching for Alita. And then he said, dumb as rocks, but he has a good heart. And of course, then I guess, Karula says, and what of Her Highness? Are you getting along with the Queen? And now they're referencing Queen Lymira, but anyway, Queen Lymira, and the technician says, she never ceases to amaze me. So Queen Lymira is a pretty influential and a pretty impressive individual, and so there you see it. She looks quite reserved. You see, she carries that teddy bear around with her everywhere, and I'm wondering if that's where they got the idea to give Alita a teddy bear in the movie. That might have been where that came from. But anyway, she said, looks quite quiet and reserved, but the woman knows how to take charge when she needs to. She's won every war against competing powers over the last 3 years. 80% of the Martian canopy is under her control. So Queen Lymira is a pretty significant figure in Mars Chronicles, And, I guess the technician continues, sure, we played our part in that, but she's absolutely got what it takes to unite the planet. So anyway, I guess at this point, Karula Sangus is kind of looking out over the dome, there above the dome. And she says, I see. Let's hope that she is up to the task. So I guess it's in their interest, these two, particularly Carula Sangris, that Mars, Mars is in a state of like civil war at this point between at least two factions and maybe more. And then, of course, they continue to discuss this. As she's on official business, away on official business at the moment. Should be on Ceres now. Now, Ceres is basically a large asteroid. And what has happened here, I guess, is the human race is actually, they're advanced now, space travel wise. They can, they can build colonies, or they can build facilities on asteroids, certainly on the moon. They certainly built everything on Mars, and the floating cities around Venus, and even the floating cities around Earth. But she says should be on Ceres now, negotiating a trade agreement with the IACU, in other words, the Inter-Asteroid Commerce Union. And if you can believe it. In other words, this Queen Limera has got a lot of political power. She certainly, as they mentioned, controls most of Mars itself, or at least the population there, the government, and that kind of thing. And of course, there's another individual there that they're referring to. Remember that kid, Zappa Terracotta? Apparently, he's a director running the show at the ICU. So he's the head of that group that Queen Limera is actually, negotiating with. Boy, he's really gone far in the world. So he's also quite powerful politically, So we're kind of getting a little bit of a feel for the politics of this time period. It's not, if this group was to look at our politics on Earth now, they would think it would be kind of primitive, because this politics here is spanning the solar system, so there's a lot going on here. So anyway, Queen Limera says, don't get cocky just because one of your former charges has made it in the world. So I guess whoever this person was, what was his name again? I have to go back and look at it. Zappa Terracotta. Of course not, she says, but I know he's got his own reasons, and it's all in the past now. No big deal. And then, of course, she continued to say, I happen to be the type to nurse. I happen to be the type to nurse grudges. And I know there was more behind that incident. And then, of course, the technician says behind. And then, of course, Carula says 3 years ago, we lost our home of, I can't pronounce that. And I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me expand it a little bit. We lost our home of Sejig. I can't pronounce that.
Zoom in, please, more.
Yeah, let me. Szeged. I can't pronounce that. Szeged. Zeged. Yeah, who knows? Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, something like that.
It isn't Germany. Isn't German, but something.
Yeah, it's not German. Yeah, it's something else.
Eastern Europe or something.
Maybe. Yeah,
we need our 11 and 12, which means
11 and 12.
Ponin, 11 and 12, which means Ponin freak or random bomb.
Yeah.
They could pronounce it correctly.
Panini freak. You mean?
Panini freak. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Sejig, I guess, is the best I can do with it. Yeah. and we're blocked from immigrating to Ceres or the other asteroids. We had no other choice but to flee and enter the Zot. So I guess Carula Sangris is behind the Zot at some level. I don't know exactly at this point. And I can't remember from Last Order either what, because she shows up in the Last Order as well, but I can't remember exactly what her role is. But anyway, do you think the combination of all those things was coincidental? In other words, all this stuff that's happening. She's telling this technician, do you really think this has all just happened, you know? But that was all set up by Embody, right? So Aga Embody, if you remember, he was the guy that was in charge of, certainly he was overseeing the Zot. Help me out here, bad man, or Smendrick, about what was Aga Embody, what was his role in the Zot, and up in, I guess it was also up in Jeru, wasn't it? Or Cathares.
Well, he was the assistant chairman of Ladder, and he was in charge of the Zot.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I see. So anyway, basically what's Karula saying, you really think this just happened? You know, that, that it was set up by Embody, right? And she says, have you been digging into that for the past 3 years? In other words, the technician's asking Karula, have you been, researching this for the past 3 years, And then Karula says, I've learned a number of odd things. First of all, assume that Embody was unrelated to this. Our collaborators were silenced with money that, after being laundered through several fronts, traced back to one particular name, Dasein. So Dasein, Dasein. How do you say that in German? My German's not that great. So I think that is German, right?
Design,
there.
yeah, it's
Design, yeah.
Design, Dasein.
Dasein, yeah.
It means in English existence,
Mm-hmm.
the being, or yeah.
So anyway, Karula says, Dasein, does that ring a bell to you? So she's still talking to this person. He says, sure, but unusually in the context of urban legends and conspiracy theories. So she thinks there's nothing to it. Supposedly there's some kind of reclusive, ultra wealthy magnate who secretly controls the world. Nearly all the stories about Dasein are idle gossip, but Dasein does exist. Okay, so whoever this individual is, what Karula's saying is that she believes everything that has happened, through the Zot and everything after that, and even to this point, is being manipulated by this individual called Dasein. Okay. Anything you guys want to add to this?
Yeah, it's a little bit complicated.
Yeah, it is complicated, and we don't have a lot to go on at this point. That's why I want Kishiro to keep writing.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. You get the background information, or the total background in different manga volumes or episodes.
Yes. Anyway, they're chatting about this, and of course, this was to your point, Smendrick, and of course, Karula says, of course, Dasein means existence in German. So yeah, you were spot on there. Of course, you should be. You're a German, right, Smendrick? Yeah. So anyway, it says, so that would be like saying the existence exists, and she kind of chuckles about it, Whether Dasein is an individual or a group, and where Dasein might be located, are mysteries. But I intend to get to the root of them, So she's still trying to figure it out herself, what this individual or this group or whoever it is, what is their role behind what's happening in this time period, Now, one thing you got to remember here too is that Karula, like say, as a vampire, she is very old. I think at this point, she's probably something like 400 years old, or maybe 600 years old. I can't rember now.
Over 700.
700 years. That's right.
Wow.
So she's very old. She's biologically immortal. So I mean, she's she's got a lot of experience. She's very intelligent. you know, not to mention she's a vampire, which the Creek really likes that. I like vampire stuff, you know. But anyway, so then of course the technician there says, "Boy, you're just jumping all over the place." Of course, I remember we took part in the mission to destroy their base 2 years ago. We were nervous. They were rumored to have a deadly Künstler by the name of Frau X with them. Now, Frau X, I can't remember exactly who that is. Do you know, Badman, who Frau X is?
That was the code name that they give to Erica because they had
Yep,
what
yep,
Erica's name was.
exactly.
Yeah, that's right. So, yeah. So anyway, now we're seeing it tied to Kishiro's starting to tie this to Erica and Alita being, you know, in front of that, you know, monument, you know. So Frau X is, I guess, what they just called her because they didn't know who she was, but they knew there was a person, you know, but they didn't, and they knew it was a female, but they didn't know, you know, it was Erica that her name is Erica, you know. So anyway, that actually got our big kindergartner even more worked up, but it turned out to be a letdown. All that we faced were crude, weak robot soldiers. So in other words, I guess Zex was part of the group that went out and took this, you know, and remember Zex, even though he's only 2 years old, he's a pretty potent warrior, you know. He's you know, he's about like Alita, I guess, you know, in terms of his ability to fight, you know. And you see there, he's kind of standing over these robots, you know, that they just literally, you know, beat the crap out of and killed them and stuff like this. Not that you can kill a robot unless it's got sentient artificial intelligence, maybe. But anyway, and then Karula says, "I see, but it was your good fortune that we didn't run into her. I cannot say anything for certain as the investigation is ongoing, but be careful of the Einhujar." So that's kind of like what that is that's a group of warriors. In Norse mythology, they're a group of warriors that were killed that I think were brought back to life or somehow resuscitated or something, reanimated or whatever by the Valkyries. I think does that myth bring a familiar note to you, Smendrick? I don't know if you.
No, not really.
Go
According
ahead.
to God of War. Okay. According to God of War Ragnarok, the Einherjar died and gone to Valhalla, and then Odin brought them back.
Yeah. Oh, Odin did. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But I thought that the Valkyries were involved in that too, or were they the Valkyries? I'm not sure.
I think they did have something to do with the Valkyrie.
Yeah. Anyway, they kind of bring that up here, so I guess it's almost like a crossover, isn't it? Not quite.
Yeah. It sounds like reference to the mythology of the Northern Europe citizens.
You betcha. So
Valkyries are angels of soldiers.
Yes.
Normally.
Yeah. So anyway, Karula's been doing a lot of investigation on this stuff. Who knows how long she's been doing this? Been at least 3 years. So, you know, she's still trying to figure all this out, but she's getting closer to solving this, I guess. Then we cut back here to Alita and Erica. And so I guess Erica says, "So you decoded the message in the Verslag, you know." Now I can't remember what Verslag means. What does that mean?
Verslag. I didn't remember the English word, but it's kind of like a box, a wooden box or something, or stable. Yeah, a very small stable.
But anyway, that's you know, Erica's, you know, kind of in kind of an offhanded way, you know, it's kind of giving Alita sort of a, I guess you'd call it a compliment maybe, or acknowledgement that, you know, she's, well, as it says down that lower right panel, you've improved by leaps and bounds, Yoko, you know? And of course, Alita says, don't, Erica. So in other words, well, one of the things about this is, which I'm not going to say right now, but Erica knows, I mean, rather Alita knows, kind of has a secret about Erica that Erica's not aware of at this point in time. She does become aware of it eventually, but I'm not going to give it away at this point, you know? So anyway, then there's an explosion behind her and that kind of thing like that, you know? And of course, I guess Erica says, please let big sister Erica see how much you've grown. So now Erica wants to fight Alita, you know. And of course, they start tussling, you know. And Erica's used this technique called the shadow something or other. I can't remember what it's called now, but it's a technique where you get into a spot where your enemy, your opponent can't see you, you know. It's almost like a, I guess you would call like a covert type of, you know, technique that helps you fight an opponent. And of course, Danko says, she's right behind you, Alita. It's the Schattenflogen shadow pursuit. So I guess that's the name of the technique. And of course, Alita acknowledges that. And Erica says, you don't have a tail. You know, she kind of puts her hand on Alita's butt, you know, and says, you don't have a tail. Now, if you remember in the Zot, Alita in her Imaginos 2.1 body, she was Cat Lita, if you remember that. She had a tail, you know. And the Creek has said many times he likes that version of Alita a lot, you know. So anyway, but anyway, Erica has not seen Alita for a very long time. And so, you know, like say she puts her hand on Alita's butt and doesn't feel a tail, you know, so say, you don't have a tail, you know, like that. And, you know, I guess she kind of hits or kicks or pushes Alita, and Alita, of course, shrieks, you know. And Erica says, why is your little cattail gone? I was going to spin you around by it, you know. And Alita says, of course, and Erica's pitching a hissy fit, as we would say down in southeastern America, United States. And Alita says, we're in front of Ninon's grave. Please, let's not fight, you know. And of course, Erica says, why would that stop me? So Erica really has no regard for, you know, reverence, you know, or anything like that. You know, they're in front of those little girls' monument and stuff like that, you know, and she don't really give a shit. You know, she's just, you know, Erica is actually, in my opinion, pure evil at this point. Now when she was a little girl, she wasn't, but, and there's a reason for she's like this, and it has to do something with, what Baron von Muster, but we'll see that later on as we go through the Mars Chronicles. And then, of course, Erica says, why would that stop me? They're all in heaven now, and they'll be happy to see how we've grown, you know. So she's being a little sarcastic there, you know, and a little bitchy.
It's a dark story.
Yeah, that's right. So anyway, the next panel there, and she's attacking Alita, and she says, assuming there is a heaven, that is, you know. And of course, she kind of gets behind Alita again because she has that technique, you know. And Alita, you know, kind of knows that. Says, oh, not again, you know, because she's behind her, you know. And then what happens is Danko gets involved, and he shoots Erica in the face. So, you know, Erica's kind of flying now, you know, she's, you know, because Danko, you know, he's a sentient gun. He doesn't rely on Alita to, you know, direct him in any way or control him. He's got a mind of his own. I mean, for a gun, that tells you how far their technology's gone, even if he's just AI, you know. So anyway, Erica goes flying, you know, and they basically, Danko shot her at point blank range, you know, and so you see Erica's gone flying there. and lands on her back there, you know, several feet away or several meters away or whatever. And then, of course, Erica yells at him, Danko, like that, you know, and Danko says, you were taking too long to get to the point, so I sped it up, you know. And then now Erica's laying on her back, but she starts laughing, you know, and eventually, you know, she's you know, just sitting there laughing, you know, and you see down the bottom panel down there, a combination of berserker cells and organic collapser. That would have been instant death. Zayagoot, you know, which very good, you know. So, you know, so, you know, I guess Erica's kind of taunting them in a way like, you know, okay, that would have been instant death. You know, it's like, it would have been, but it wasn't, you know. So she sits up like that. But a guided projectile like that is going to suffer in terms of velocity. If you want to pump a hole in me, you need a proper rail gun next time. So anyway, now you remember Danko shot her at point blank range. He said, wait, did she deflect my bullet at such close range? How is that even, he's about to say, possible? And Alita says there were two nearly simultaneous gunshots. That would have been the Mauser School Panzerkunst Kugelkite, which I guess
Kugelkite.
Yeah,
it's an art word.
Yes,
bullet and
a hidden bullet skill. It says.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So what Erica did, I don't think that's on the next panel. I think no, it's not. But basically, what it is that they taught them in the Mauser school, not just Erica, but even Alita, you know, and everybody in the Mauser school, they taught them how to deflect a bullet by shooting a bullet out of their mouth, I believe is how that works. Wasn't it, Bad Man? I can't remember now. I think that's what it was. So in other words,
in Erica's case, different Künstlers may have had slightly different techniques, but
yeah. I know Alita, I think Alita does it out of her mouth, but I'm not sure about, I don't know about Erica, but anyway, the bottom line is, it's like these two bullets were shot almost simultaneously, and the bullet from Erica hit the bullet that Danko shot. Now you imagine at that minute amount of time and at those velocities, how precise that technique has to be, the Kugelkite. You know, that's got to be, I mean, that speaks a lot about their training as Künstlers, you know. But anyway, next panel, she says, correct, you've been a good student, you know. In other words, she's being a little bit sarcastic again. I suppose you haven't spent the last 3 years goofing off after all. You know, of course she hasn't. She was in, you know, in, I guess at Venus, and you can see her there. She's spitting out I guess she did shoot it out of her mouth. I guess, you know, well, she did. Danko's acknowledging that. So she spit the cartridge out. And of course, Danko said, so she fired a tiny gun hidden inside her mouth to strike my bullet and throw it off course. And Danko, you know, he says, holy crap.
Kiss this girl.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, don't kiss Erica. Yeah, don't do that. Now, Erica may have uwu, but don't kiss her. Well, that might be your last kiss, you know, as they would say. So Erica now says, let's go. Blade, gun, plasma, use whatever you like. I'll be your opponent. It's a classic duel, you know, so Erica's kind of egging her on a little bit here, I guess, you know. And says, you know, Alita says, we finally meet again, Erica, and you haven't changed a bit, you know. And Erica says, oh, my dear, sweet Yoko, you haven't forgotten, have you? Now, here's where I was talking about a while ago, but I'll go ahead and read the rest of this. Remember what you said to me before shipping out to Operation Malwarf 200 years ago? So here's a little bit of that secret here. And there you see a little bit of a flashback there. The next time I see you, I will kill you. And of course, if Alita says that to you, I'd be a little worried. You know, you're going to be not long for this world, you know. And of course, Erica says, and today's the big day, you know. So now there is a secret here that I'm not gonna bring up, but anyway, that's the end of it right there. That was the last panel. So what's going to happen here? I will say a little bit because we're going to get into this next month at the manga reading. These two are going to fight. Of course, you probably figured that out already. And it's really interesting what happens, the fight itself, and of course, you know, what Alita tells Erica, you know, that's going to floor her, you know, a lot, you know. So anyway, that's pretty much it, you know, in terms of we're set up now for the fight, you know, between Erica and Alita. You know, Erica has kind of lured Alita into this, you know, kind of a, you know, battle that she wants to have with her, wants to fight her. Erica wants to kill Alita, you know. So anyway, there's where we are, and that's the end of this volume. So any thoughts?
Well, Alita was she threatened that the next time she saw Erica, she was going to kill her, but then she went off on the terraforming wars mission.
Yeah,
and didn't come back until now.
Yeah. So anyway, so now she's back, and her and Erica are going to go at it. But I'm going to say this as a little bit of a tease: they're going to go at it again. Now that's all I'm going to say, because they have fought before, you know, and we'll get to that, you know, when we read next month's read volume 8. So, any thoughts, Smendrick or Badman?
No, I'm waiting for the next month.
Boy, that says a lot about Aga Embody, doesn't it, Badman? Embody is kind of like Vector, but without compassion or mercy. Wow, that's pretty bad, you know. So, and yeah, he was Angelus out there. Hello, Angelus. I don't know. I don't know if I put that. If you saw this, Angelus, oh, wait a minute, not that one. That's Karen's. Let me copy that. I want to put it back out in the chat because I was over in there on the other instance there. So there's a link if you want to jump on, Angelus, or anybody else for that matter. So anyway, what are your thoughts about this? We got a couple of things going here, don't we? We certainly got the fight between Alita and Erica, that's for sure. But there's a little bit of a mystery going on behind the scenes, isn't it? That Karula is trying to investigate, you know, who is driving this? You know, who's manipulating this? You know, is basically what she's trying to figure out. You know?
Yeah, I have more questions than comments.
Yes, indeed.
For me, it looks like in this episode, or in this volume, it looks like it's not they are not serious opponents.
Yeah.
I don't understand the development of Erica to Frau X. Not.
Well, I think Frau X. Yeah, I think what Frau X was, Mendrick, is just at this point, I think Karula doesn't know who Erica is. She just knows she's behind some of this, what's going on, the manipulation of it.
Is it so? Or didn't she change her name as Yoko to Alita? I'm not sure about this.
Yeah, I don't think
there was a break in her vitae, in Erica's vitae, and I'm not sure.
I don't think she changed her name. I think what it was they didn't. I think that Karula and the Ladder and the group she was working for didn't know the name of the person that was, kind of carrying out some of this stuff, and so they just labeled her Frau X, just to, have something to refer to. I don't think that was actually her name,
It would change a little bit
Yeah. Is that your understanding, Badman?
Yeah, Frau X was just the that was just the alias or the code name that Mars Kingdom Parliament and the other forces, because they in Last Order they launched the operation to take back the spaceport.
Yeah.
Okay.
Welcome, Lee.
It's not a part of part of her vitae, but only a synonym for those whose name isn't known.
No, that's right. So that's right. It's a code name. Let me welcome. Let me welcome Lee Lemon. How's it going, Lee?
Oh, not too bad.
Yeah, we're glad you could join us.
Yeah, I'm afraid I missed the manga reading.
Oh, that's okay. Well, I'll just go back through it real quick. Just to.
Oh, that's okay. I can catch it on rerun.
Oh, okay, that's right.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're at the point now, in volume 7 at the very end where Erica and Alita are going to fight each other, and I gave them a little hint. They're going to fight each other again.
Okay, so the fight didn't actually happen this issue.
Not yet. No, not yet. That'll be in the next volume. But Erica thinks that she hasn't seen Alita or something like that for 200 years, but that's what Erica thinks.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she hasn't seen her in 208 years because Yoko
that's right.
left. Yoko left Mars, and this is the first time that she's come back.
Yeah, that's right. But Erica thinks that she hasn't fought Alita before.
I don't think they did. I don't think they did fight.
Well,
because Alita or Yoko at that time threatened her, but then she left on Operation Malwarf, and
well, I think it becomes clear in the next volume, and I don't want to say anymore because we're going to spoil, but there's I guess all I'll say is this: Erica's in for a big surprise when they do fight, because they are going to fight. The thing to remember too is that Erica is pretty potent. I mean, she's like Alita, I mean, she's an average human's not going to be able to beat her. I mean, she's going to kill, someone. She almost killed Zazie, So, they're two equal combatants, and Alita's pretty potent. Now, Alita's not in her Imaginos 2.1 body. If she was in her Imaginos 2.1 body, Erica wouldn't last 10 seconds,
Well, even Alita's not trying to kill her, though.
Yeah, that's right. Alita doesn't really want to kill her, does she? So at this point, but
that's exactly the point. So I'm not really know if this is a serious Rivalität. I don't know the English word.
You mean like now I can't think of it now. Oh well.
Okay.
It's not a serious, I'll say just serious contest or serious
wait a second.
Yeah. You can look it up. Okay.
It's nearly the same in English. Rivalry.
Rivalry.
Rivalry. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry. Now I got it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it is definitely a rivalry, but it's going to be one in the next volume for sure.
Yeah. Okay. This is another point. Don't spoil.
Now, I'm not. But here's another thing. We don't know why Erica wants to kill Alita. We don't know that. And certainly Alita doesn't know that, or she may, but she's got a little surprise for Erica in the next volume that's going to kind of stun Erica. But anyway, I keep talking. I don't want to give it away, so we're not going to. So, so anyway.
Well, the other big question in this is the other group or the individual that Karula and Q-Sang were talking about, the Dasein person.
Yeah.
Or group.
Yeah.
There's not a lot known about that, but I'm starting to think that the clues to that are buried in Alita and Erica's past. That group may have been around for more than 200 years.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of mystery there. Yeah, for sure. Okay. Well, Lee, I guess you missed the manga reading, so I don't know. But do you have any thoughts about this? About Erica and Alita meeting again in front of that monument on Mars?
Not really. It's part of the story I never got too deep into.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I remember the Mars Chronicles is kind of where I stopped reading it.
Yeah, I read, Angelus and I both read the Mars Chronicles and all of the manga and all of the Last Order, but it's been a while since I've read them, so I can't remember everything about it, because gosh, as Spendrick was saying a while ago, especially this part of the story is really complicated, so, but it certainly is enjoyable. So anyway, Vladi, of course, he's logged off, I guess, but he says, I'll stop distracting from the manga now. In other words, he's still doing this. He's still upset with Disney, which I don't blame him. I'm pretty, and I saw, well, let me go ahead and advance to the next slide here. I saw a video today on YouTube. Now, first of all, YouTube being part of the internet, don't believe everything you see on the internet. That's for sure, But I did see a story where I don't know how reputable this individual is, but was relaying that they're thinking about doing a sequel for John Carter. Now, I like John Carter as a movie. It didn't do very well at all at the box office. It was a big time flop. But I think where it raised my hackles up, and maybe this is a good reason Vladi's not here, because if Disney is considering giving John Carter a sequel and not Alita, that to me there's just something wrong with that.
It's they're taking aim at everything around Alita and just avoiding her intentionally.
Yeah. But it's like I said a while ago, like Thanos said, fine, I'll do it myself. So, and that's what I intend to do if we don't, get a green light soon. Now, I certainly can't produce a movie like Jim Cameron can, but I can put together little, stories and stuff like that, particularly with AI doing what AI can do now. So,
well, hopefully Maxie will continue his too.
Yeah, exactly. And I started writing another script too, by the way, Lee. But it's more of a script that I think I told you I got this actress friend that has told me that they would, that they would help me with this, or they would act in it or something like that. Now, this particular person is very busy, so but anyway, I'll just give you a little teaser on it. She's going to come in the Creeks, Kansas bar, Alita is, and we're going to have a little chat, that kind of thing. And that's all I'm going to say, but,
okay.
But I've started writing the script on it already, so I can send it to her, so she can give me the final, whether she wants to do it or not, so, but anyway, that's where I am on that one. So plus I'm going to redo my original story I did to make it, to me, it was a little rough, and plus it had too much narration in it. So I'm going to kind of redo that a little bit, make it a little more, I guess, for lack of a better word, viewable. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, if you manage to find some good pictures and images for it, you can let the pictures do a lot of the heavy lifting.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I'm going to use a lot of AI on this because it's going to be it's going to be a pretty heavy lift for somebody like Matu or say Channel or Cran, or is it one of them to do it, because they would involve a lot of artwork, and it would take quite a while, particularly, with I guess Cran and Matu are really busy,
Yeah.
So anyway, is there anything else you guys want to talk about?
Not at the moment.
Yeah, afraid I'm a little short on interesting subjects of any kind. So.
Oh gosh. So how is your fanfic coming, Lee? Have you been working on it very much lately?
I am currently up to chapter 25, reworking it a bit.
Oh, okay.
Since
Cool.
I altered the way the reasoning behind Alita teaching Jason how to defend himself, I have to do some reworking of dialogue and stuff, because for whatever reason, I got it stuck in my head she was going to try and make a warrior out of him, and I realized that's not something she would do. She's just teaching him how to defend himself so he has a better chance of surviving in Iron City.
And that fits with the manga too, you remember, because after I guess after she lost Hugo and before she fought Zapan the second time, although the first time she fought Zapan, or first two times, wasn't much of a fight really.
Yeah.
But yeah, remember she taught martial arts, to mainly.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, but mainly cyborgs, but also I think a couple of humans. Just
at this point in the story, Jason is a cyborg now too.
Yeah, he's a cyborg. Yeah, so
I mean, he got both of his legs and his arm working finally.
Yeah, so
he's no longer wheelchair bound.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to read back through some, because I can't remember which chapter I was on. It was 21 or 22. I can't remember which, but I'll read through it and I'll pick out where I was and continue. Or I might reread one of the chapters, and then just to catch back up. So
yeah.
Okay, so anyway, one of the things I wanted to bring up for next week is next week we're not going to have an Alita live stream next week, because the Creek is going to be basically, I'm going to be competing in the bench press national championships. So I'm going to be in North Carolina, and I'm not going to be able to do this. But what I am going to do
is there. Wait, Creek. Is there a live stream from this competition?
Yeah, but I don't know what it is. It's going to be on.
As soon as you know.
Oh, okay. I'll put it.
Put it on our gaming server.
Yeah, I can do that. I'll put it on the gaming server. I'll put it on X. I'll put it in. I'll put it on Reddit. I'll put it on. I guess Instagram and even Facebook. Just.
Not on these platforms. I'm more on Blue Sky, but if you put it on the
maybe I should join Blue Sky. Maybe I should do that as well.
Yeah, it's not much traffic there.
Yeah.
Okay, it's much smaller than X or the other platforms.
Yeah.
Okay. At the moment, we are collecting people. But it's not the entire army there. Okay. Yeah. Our fandom isn't very numerous represented.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna be AFK real quick. I just got a call from some friends.
Okay, no problem.
Okay.
Yeah, but anyway, what I have done is I've downloaded. We had a really successful stream at the first of the year, and what we did was we kind of went in and analyzed, Alita's kind of expertise in Panzerkunst, and kind of related that to what Rosa, the kind of training Rosa did, to actually kind of show that in a movie setting. And we played videos in this thing, so there's really no, I guess you would say, no copyright infringements on this, but
yeah, okay. I can't don't remember this live stream, but maybe if I see it. Are you still here, Creek?
Yeah, it sounds like Creek dropped off.
Yeah, I think so.
Can you guys hear
I'm
me?
afraid we got a minor emergency, so I got to head off.
All righty.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like my internet.
Oops.
Oh, oops! Now he's gone. Bye, Creek.
Yep. All right. Well, I'm afraid I head off, so I'll talk to you guys later. Take care.
Okay, bye, Lee. So now we are lonely. Batman. Yes, our host back.
Except you're muted.
Yeah, he's muted. So we can.
I am muted. Now I'm unmuted. Golly.
Okay.
I got discombobulated there, as they say in colloquial English. So anyway, I think we weren't there. We were way on into this thing. Yeah, there we are. We were there, you know. So anyway, but anyway, we're gonna play that video. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna upload that
next
video.
slide. Next slide.
Well, no, next slide is this guy right here. So we don't want to do that. Yeah, I just pulled up a JPEG on that one. But anyway, yeah, next week is going to be that it's going to be that a replay of that stream we did back in January, and it was really a lot of folks liked it. So I said, well, I'll just reload that guy, because we do go into detail how Rosa trained for this, and what kind of some of the stuff she had to do to prepare and stuff like that. And then we showed some of the Panzerkunst techniques, and I think Angelus also offered some of his expertise in this, because he is a black belt in karate himself. And well, the Creek is a black belt, but I don't really train in martial arts anymore. So but anyway, it was a really good stream, and folks liked it. So I said, well, we just reload that one up, so anyway, to stay tuned for that one. Did we miss anything, you guys?
I'm a little confused about the Radio Chaos stream tomorrow, because it seems like we're skipping a couple chapters.
I don't know about that. Let me check the show notes. If I don't know if Angelus has done the show notes yet. Let me see.
I didn't see anything. Wait.
I don't see any. Let me see if this is it right here. I'm looking at the show notes right now. Yeah, I don't know. I know it's Gunham. It's a Gunham Angel of I can't remember what C. They got AOC there. Bard of the Badlands Mission 2 reunion. That's all I know about it.
Well, because the last manga stream was episode 216, and that was only the 5th chapter of volume 5 or volume 6 rather. Yeah. So there's the 6th chapter, volume 6, and then the 1st chapter, volume 7. We haven't done. So
yeah, I don't know. I don't know, Bad Man. What's going on there? Maybe I need to send a DM to Maxie to see what's going on. So yeah, I apologize. I don't know, So anyway, I'll have to ask Maxie about that. But be that as it may, Radio Chaos will be up and running tomorrow, about roughly 24 hours after this stream. It's going to be like 9 p.m. GMT.
21 hours here.
Yeah.
It shows me 21 hours left.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know, Bad Man. I apologize for that. So
well, I put my name on the sign up sheet for tomorrow, and then but I left a note there, so Max Stack can just look at that.
Okay.
If he
yeah, Maxie usually does the thumbnail for that. I know I've got the instance already loaded up on StreamYard and YouTube, but I don't know other than that, because all I got in there for the, I guess for the thumbnail, for this is a placeholder. Basically, it has the title on it. Other than that, that's about all I know about it at this point. So
yeah, Greek. As long as you also post those announcements to our gaming server, it's okay for me. So I can
so
get
did
it.
not, did not. Let me see something here. Maxi,
I didn't
Maxi-
saw it at the moment, but
yeah. Let me
maybe.
see if he's Maxi usually does that,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
he didn't. So
That's the point. Okay.
yeah, yeah. So yeah,
Sometimes it's my fault, but
no, it's nobody's fault. I mean,
yeah, I'm old and clicking around like.
all right, Smendrick, you're not old, Jack.
Come on.
The Creek's got you beat by quite a bit, I bet.
Okay. Okay.
Well,
We see next week.
You bet.
Next week.
Yeah, next week,
Then
even on
you
radio,
can-
next week on Radio
then-
Chaos, Maxie and I are going to do another recording because I'm on those 2 days, Friday and Saturday. I'm going to be at this competition, so I can't run the stream.
I mean this competition. Then you can show me that you can beat it.
Well, I'm going to be up
Beat
against
all
it. I'm going to be. There's going to be a pretty. There's a couple of really tough competitors in there.
Okay.
They basically are stronger than I am. So we'll see. I mean, I'm going to push them, I think. But
But I want to see this. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
The last time the announcers are so cool.
Yeah.
I love the entire stream.
Okay. Cool. Well, I'll put it on the various platforms and folks can watch it. Now, here's the thing about it. This is an all-day thing. So if you're going to watch the stream to see me lift, I'm not sure. I know I'm lifting on Saturday is when I'm actually lifting. So,
okay.
but I don't know. I know what platform I'm on, but in terms of the exact time, I don't know that. So when I check in. Well, when I check in there, then I'll know a little more, but I won't be able to get to the internet. So, but I'll do my best.
Okay.
I'll do my best to put the link in and what I do think we'll have, when the time is and stuff like that. I'll see what I can do about that, but I won't be able to give you exact time, So anyway.
Cool.
All right. Did we miss anything else?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, as you can see from that middle panel there, Alita does love her Uncle Creek, and that's because he wants a sequel, and like she does, and like we all do. And if you got a problem with Alita loving her Uncle Creek, take it up with her, because there you see she's got that plasma weapon ready to set you straight, as they would say. And this is our queen right here. This is Rosa, and she's number one in the Creeks book in terms of being an actress. She did a great job on Alita. We just, that's why we want to give her this bust of Alita Battle Angel, because we all love Rosa to death. We think she's super duper, and this is our award for her, that we want her to have, because she's got quite a following. I think she's we got 178,000 and change members of the Alita army, at least if you're judging that from the sequel petition. So anyway, but that's our queen right there. But I also want to give a shout out to Elle Lamont and Jesse Fisher, because they brought Screwhead to life. And we want all three of these ladies to be in the sequel, because I certainly want Screwhead to be in the sequel, to team up with Alita on Alita's motorball team when they take on Joshagon, And I imagine in the movie they'll probably have 2 teams. That would be my guess, even though the manga, it's just Alita's team versus Joshigan by himself. Because in the manga, he's Emperor Joshigan, you know, he's kind of superhuman himself, you know. But I imagine in the movie, they'll probably have 2 teams. That'd be my guess anyway. And I want Screwhead on that team, you know, because Screwhead's pretty cool in my opinion, you know. But anyway, I'm kind of waxing on lyrically here, I guess. But as I say every week, these 3 are really good at what they do in terms of being, you know, Rosa and Elle being actresses and Jessie being a stunt woman. But, you know, it's like I say every week, yeah, they're good at what they do for sure, but it sure doesn't hurt that they're pretty, because they are very pretty, all 3 of them, you know. So, and we're glad that they're in the Alita army too. So anyway. And to kind of talk about what Badman was talking about a while ago, now this is wrong. the Creek didn't put the right, this is, usually I put my placeholder here, but tomorrow it's going to be, yeah, what is that? Let me look it up again.
221.
Yeah, it'll be, yeah, not 212.
It's only just a mismatch.
Yeah, I mismatched the numbers, but let me go over here and look. Yeah, it stinks. The Creek doesn't know what he's doing half the time, I think. So anyway, it's let me see where that is. It's I will display this. This is the let me get back to this one. I'll present that one there. Yeah. This is the one that we're supposed to be doing right here tomorrow. Now, as Badman says, there's a little confusion as to, you know, which version of this we have, you know. So I don't know, Badman. So we'll just have to see what Maxie says. I'll have to send him a DM, I guess. So, but it's going to be Bard of the Badlands Mission 2 Reunion. So anyway, we'll cover that one tomorrow to be another manga reading. That's why I like to do manga readings the day before Radio Chaos does theirs, because it's kind of like a manga weekend, you know, kind of a neat little thing to do, I think. Okay, so anyway, I guess that being what it is, why is this image here? Well, that image is there because I like it. And I'm the producer of the stream. So I guess that's why it gets in there. And to paraphrase Gruishka, I'm only here for our girl and the Alita Army. And of course, all of us in the Alita Army are only here for our girl because we want that sequel, Disney. Come on now, give it to us. You got many hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people that want a sequel. I mean, you know, I mean, I think Disney would make money on this if they would just bite the bullet and say, okay, let's do it, you know. But we'll stay after them until we get it. That's what the Creek wants to do anyway. So any last thoughts, Smendrick?
No, it was a fun stream again. I loved it.
Yeah. How about you, Badman? Any thoughts? Any last thoughts?
Not really. It's just I don't know, it's interesting to like to hear other people's thoughts on some of these things.
Yeah. Okay, well, that just leaves one thing to do, and that's the call to action, and that would be on my count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Film those sequels, baby. Well, we were all over the map, but we got our point across. So anyway, we'll see you next week on, well, we won't see you on the Alita live stream, but there will be a replay of the Alita live stream next week. And also, I think we'll have a recording for, well, certainly we'll have a Radio Chaos tomorrow, but I believe there'll be a recording we're going to set up for next week too on Radio Chaos. So anyway, be that as it may, we will catch you guys in the future later, and have a good rest of your weekend.
What's up, Alita Army? This is Hot Toys Alita, and I hope you enjoyed this week's Alita Livestream. Please join my Uncle Creek, Angelus, and our other guests for next week's show. Remember, I do not stand by in the presence of evil, and film those sequels, baby! See you next time!